Mike. How's it going?
Morning, Bob.
Here we are, the day after Tuesday night race.
And this looks a little different than our usual Tuesday night video.
Yeah, what's going on? Bunch of half-naked people on the beach?
We like to mix things up every so often, so we threw in a swim. And so this is, for those who chose to swim, we've got about a 300-meter swim to start it off. So you had to swim from the point at Roche Point and around 2 buoys.
Oh, and there they go.
Get to your boat or board and start your race. So here they go.
Yeah, a big massive arms flailing and feet kicking, and who are those guys off the front there? Can we tell?
You can see it was interesting to see. We kind of know who's going to come out hot out of the gate on a paddling race, but it changes things up when you throw a swim in there.
Yeah.
Being a good paddler does not necessarily mean you are a good swimmer.
Now, is this the guy closest to us? Is that the visiting Vaughn Reed?
Looks like maybe? It might be.
Yeah, and there's somebody rounding the first buoy. Who are those two guys out there? They're ripping.
They're ripping away. I think one of those is Bosco.
I think that was Seth that just paddled into the buoy. Somebody's got a swim cap on. That's a good sign.
Yeah. I know Tommy had a swim cap. There's red cap Tommy right there.
Oh yeah. There's Mike.
Lifeguard.
Look at that view. Nice beach there.
So I think we had about 45-ish swimmers.
Right.
Out on the course.
He just took a shortcut.
Oh yeah. No, that first buoy was chaos. I was talking to some of the rays. They said they got kicked in the head. They got,
Yeah.
I think from what I understand, that's what a triathlon start feels like, is basically getting hit in the head for the first 200 meters.
Yeah, I think so. Look at these guys way out front. Now, I think one of those guys maybe is Jonas van der Verve. Jonas van der Verve. Somebody's doing the breaststroke. He's going to go in and get a draft. Does drafting work? And who is the other guy? Who's that?
I think that is Bosco.
Oh, yeah.
So, sprint racer from Burnaby.
Wow. Mixing it up.
Yeah.
Front crawl and breaststroke. And little surfing waves going through.
Yeah, some great little shots. So I think, as these folks come in around the buoy there, it makes a big difference. I was talking with Steve Eslar about, you don't think it's going to give you that much of a head start, but 5 minutes of swimming is a lot slower than 5 minutes of paddling.
Yeah.
So, even if someone gets ahead of you by 1 minute on the swim, then that means they get a 1 minute head start on the paddle while you're still swimming. So that's pretty substantial.
It's a good head start. Yeah, these guys are going at a good clip here. I think Jonas is South African. So South Africa, swimming's a big deal. When I was there a couple years ago at Fishhook, there was a constant parade of people going down to the beach every morning to do their swim. These guys are already finishing. Holy moly. That didn't seem like very long. Now here's the swim cap guy. This is a new guy in the yellow. He's got
Marcos.
He's got the Valley boat. The Valley boat.
Is that you there, Bob?
Maybe that could have been me.
Might have been you. Oh yeah, there he is.
Oh yeah, I got my heart rate monitor on. Got to keep the head in the water. I didn't want to open my eyes too much because I don't want to see any of the monsters that are down in the water.
I definitely heard of a number of jellyfish conflicts.
Yes. Fortunately, there are white jellies.
Yep.
There's Edward Calhoun. Seth always gives me grief for calling him Ed, and it's Edward. Here's a full. Is that in the white cap?
Oh, that's Richard Wong there in the middle. White cap. Gosh, I couldn't tell you. Maybe that was Sarah?
This might be Jody Boats. Right here. She's a big swimmer. Now,
if you have your own swim cap, chances are you spend a little bit of time swimming, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you need one. Yeah, holy smokes, when it got out of the water, I was so dizzy. Like I could barely keep my boat upright, and I was stumbling around on the beach trying to get my life jacket on. Carly gave me a hand.
I heard a few people said that they just about fell over as soon as they stood up.
Now, I think, I keep my eyes closed. There's Seth already in the water. Who's that?
That is Vaughn, who just paddled away in the eye on
Vaughn
there.
Reed. He had a good start. And this,
That's Marcos, yeah.
Marcos. And
Ron Relorda, he's a
Ron.
former triathlete. He's a strong swimmer.
Yeah,
so.
look at him. He was out of the water. I had to catch up to him. So Seth's already in his boat. There goes Cynthia. That must have been her in the white cap, maybe, that we saw. And there's me falling over.
Totally changes up the order, right? That kind of makes it interesting for, yeah.
There's Brian Page.
Page, we got Suzanne. So a couple people opted to swim in their PFDs. You know, no shame there. Just get the swim done.
Get it done.
Stay afloat. Not a bad idea. In hindsight, I could maybe make the transition a little bit better, so we don't have this crossover between swimmers and paddlers.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear of any contact though, so I think we got away with that one.
Yeah, I was thinking about why I get so dizzy this morning, and I think I keep my eyes closed. And I think it's your brain is kind of rattling around inside, as you're rolling your head from side to side, and then you get out, and then your brain's still kind of rattling around, and that makes you dizzy.
I think water in the ears gets you too, right?
Yeah, it could be.
There's Warren. Now we had there was some of our youth racers were in a little pack of 3 swimming back there, and I was chatting with them, and they were sending out there. Here it is. So they sent out Simon in front to move the jellyfish out of the way, and they followed in behind drafting. It wasn't for speed; it was for jellyfish protection.
Well, the white jellies don't do much to you, except slime you. But the red, you got to watch out for the red lion's mane jellies. They're the ones that'll give you a sunburn style sting. Reagan was a little reluctant. She was questioning her life decisions when she was standing at the edge of the water and going like, why am I doing this?
I think everybody was feeling a little bit that way. There's only a few people who are truly comfortable swimmers, and but yeah, I think when everyone got out of the water and appreciated the trying a new challenge.
Yep, that's what it's all about, trying something new. Don't worry about where you finish.
So here we are. Looks like we're firmly into the paddle here. So Ron Relorda is looking strong. I think it's just practicing, right? So Ron, having done triathlons, probably is familiar with what it feels like to come out of the water and try to transition while you're dizzy and do all that stuff. And you can only feel that by practicing, right?
Yeah. It's funny though, when I swim at a pool, I don't get dizzy like that. And maybe it's because I keep my eyes open and I'm looking at the bottom of the pool and I got my goggles on.
Could be that, and I'm sure the cold water doesn't help with that dizziness coming out.
Now Giannis, there he is. He was like number 1 or 2 coming out of the water.
It was interesting looking at the results and just seeing how it was different. Looking at the final results and seeing where people ended up based on how their swim went. Some people dropped down the list from their usual spots. Some people moved way up, and that was pretty cool.
Max Remler in the lead there. When with there's Andreas Thompson.
That's Thomas.
Thomas, yeah, one of the jet dart kids. Jody Boats.
Jody was excited about the swim.
Yeah, she swims a lot.
She was very public about calling out anyone who wanted to use fins.
Oh.
I was a little more diplomatic in the group chat, but Jody just straight up said, if you're using fins, it's cheating. Though we did say, I think the rule was if you swam in fins, you had to paddle in your fins also.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rennie Chong. Little does he know, but doom is going to hit him soon.
Yeah, what was up with last night? I think we had three rudders on rocks last night.
Myself included.
And so what was going on? I think they're all in different spots too. I don't think it was...
Oh, no, I think it was the same spot.
Oh, it was the same spot.
Yeah, it was the bridge to Hamber Island, and there's sort of 3 spans. You can go through the middle, which is obviously the deepest, or you can be dumb like me and then go to the left of the middle and hit a rock. And so I DNF'd. I probably could have finished actually afterwards in hindsight as I was paddling back. It wasn't so bad. I didn't lose my rudder, but some guys had their rudder torn right off. So it's this is good work generation, revenue generation for Coast Outdoors or John George. If you need your rudder fixed or your boat, you smashed it, or any repair in general, just take it to Coast Outdoors and see John George. He's a master at repairing things. I'll be taking my boat in later today.
Hopefully it gives you a bit of a deal.
He might give me a deal, I don't know. Looking strong.
Yeah, that's Nikki there.
Yeah.
Veronica.
I think Nikki commented, was that her commenting about?
I believe so, yes.
Enjoyed the swim on the Vancouver Paddle Sport WhatsApp group.
Isaac.
Looking good on that old once up.
Colin kept his goggles on just in case, ready for his next swim. Yeah, and there's Laris. He just reminded me of another comment he made in the group chat, just saying, even though he wasn't a regular swimmer, still appreciated challenging himself and trying out something new. And that's
yeah. People talked about getting out of their comfort zone, which would take you out. This takes you out of it, right? You're just not comfortable doing that sort of thing. What are they doing? Oh. Rene, this is post-collision with the rock, and Rene needs a little help. And with no rudder, it's quite hard to keep your boat going straight.
So that's his rudder, Brian, up front there? Is that what's going on?
Yeah. You could probably just paddle behind him and then sort of get your bow on one side and push the other way, and yeah, that could work too. No, it's really hard to paddle your boat. Actually, I've found one time I lost a rudder, and I found it was easier to paddle backwards than it was to paddle forwards. I don't know why, but it's just the way it was. Speaking of losing your rudder, we should put it up on the page, but Michael Lim came up with if you break your rudder line and you're in big trouble. It happened to me once in the gorge, and you have no control, especially if you're in waves. And there's this little emergency kit that Michael Lim made just recently. We should put it up for people to see.
That's cool.
Colleen Cannon, she's a big swimmer.
Yep. She must be up there with Giannis, who's the other strong swimmer. Giannis, you gotta stop dragging that shoe. That's only slowing you down there.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's just trying to get that extra training.
Maybe he broke his rudder. That's his steering. We were talking about the swim last night, and it might be a good reminder for folks as why we wear our PFDs out there. That was a 300-meter swim, and if that challenged you, I'd have you just think about how often do you paddle 300 meters offshore? Probably pretty often.
Yep. Or more.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good reminder why we wear our life jackets and keep ourselves leashed to our craft, because most of us will not happily swim 300 meters if we lose our craft.
For our renters, we tell them to stay close to shore, and people think close to shore is out in the middle of the cove, which you can easily be 700 meters away from shore in the middle of the cove where everybody can see you.
Yep.
But we define being close to shore as being able to throw a rock and hit the shore. That's close to shore. If you're farther away, then it could be a good swim.
It's a good finish there with Axel and Elias. Got to note that Elias was drafting that surf ski there to the finish line. I wonder if Axel could have had him if Elias wasn't drafting.
Yeah.
That's Mark.
Whew. Sigh of relief as he goes across the finish line.
Jillian, and I think that's her friend John, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Veronica.
Good folks coming in. So here's, and then we'll get a shot of the SUP coming in. Don't know, there's Mike Bremner. So there's an example. Mike Bremner came in ahead of a number of paddlers that might usually be ahead of him, but being a strong swimmer, Mike was able to get ahead and stay ahead. I think he didn't get caught by the leaders, by Elias and Axel, until the turn at Bikini Rock. So yeah, it's kind of fun, like I said, to mix it up, change the dynamic off the start. Shot of Nikki finishing there.
Better than a run, in my opinion. Low impact. Swimmers make good paddlers, and vice versa. So it's good cross training. This is what I'm going to do this fall. Once maybe mid-September or October, I'm going to start doing the master swim at Ron Anders Pool, I think.
Nice. Amelia's working.
Wow, look at her.
Good job. High cadence.
Yeah.
Jack, speed that up.
What do we got coming up, Mike?
Coming up, we have one more race at Kate's Park. And that is our tight and bright night, so make sure you find your tightest and brightest clothes.
Except Jamie Sterling, please don't wear the Speedo. Please don't wear the Speedo, Jamie.
Jamie, I think that means you should definitely wear it. Just for Bob.
The hamster hammock.
And then after that, we come back to Deep Cove for 2 races. We have the Weyowitch and Whipper, and then we have our year-end race party on September 15th. So
The Whipper. Do you know what registration's like on that?
we're over 150 last I looked, so
Wow.
it's gonna be a big one.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully we'll see many of you out there. Maybe if you're watching from out of town, make the trip for the Whipper if a Tuesday night doesn't work for you.
You know what else is coming up, which is kind of a well-known race, is the Canoe Kayak BC has organized a marathon race, 60, 40, and 20 kilometers down the North Thompson River. And so you can start they all finish at the same spot, but you can start in Chase. You can start, I'm not exactly sure now, but I sent it out, I put it on. Yeah, so you're going down, you're just floating down the river, so it's pretty easy. 60K would be easy.
Yeah, no problem.
But there's a race in, Tennessee called the Chattajack race, and it's about 50 miles, I think, and they get so many people signing up for that race.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It's huge. And a lot of people that aren't paddlers, they just do it, and they do it in all sorts of funny crafts. It's a whole day event kind of thing. They look at it as that. Might be a good one, I think, for the books, and I think it's on the 29th. It's coming up quick. So,
Looking forward to seeing what kind of footage Jack finds to fill this space that we're just talking here.
Yeah.